Alex and Spencer. When Spencer finally finds and saves Alex, it feels like a dream come true. Taylor has built Spencer up as the ultimate hero, and while their reunion may have been a bit cheesy, there he is, braving the cold without a coat to rescue her. He basically saves the entire ranch single-handedly. One of the cowboys even admits he didn't fire a single shot. But of course, victory comes at a cost. He may have saved the ranch and the family legacy, but in the process, he loses the love of his life. Being a Dutton always seems to come with impossible choices. And can we talk about grief for a moment? The Duttons have never processed grief well. I don't know if you agree, but I think Taylor failed big time in capturing its raw emotional weight. Each death should feel like a gut punch. Instead, they're hollow, stripped of real, agonizing emotion. Spencer waking up beside his dead wife, then moving on like she was just a memory. It was cold, detached, and infuriating. And Alex, she was reduced to a vessel for the next Dutton heir. Her whole purpose boiled down to childbirth. She deserved so much more than this tragic fate. I'm not blaming Alex. I'm blaming everyone around her who didn't try hard enough to convince her to keep fighting. That said, the final scene was beautiful. When Spencer dies 45 years later, he finds her again in an afterlife, shaped by their memories. It looks just like their last night together on the SS Majestic, a moment frozen in time. They're in love, dancing, as if nothing ever changed. Maybe Aunt Cara was wrong. Sometimes you can't move on. Cara and Jacob. Cara and Jacob might just be the luckiest Duttons to ever live. In a family marked by tragedy, they beat the odds and grew old together. You know how rare that is? Some may be fans of Alex and Spencer, but to me, Cara and Jacob are the real power couple. Sure, I loved James and Margaret in 1883, but I'll never forgive James for taking Elsa away from Margaret. She didn't even get to spend her final moments with her. Spencer didn't try to convince Alex to stay either. So at this point, I'm fully team Cara and Jacob. And honestly, I'm just glad Taylor didn't show us their deaths. Let's imagine they lived peacefully to the end. Elizabeth. She was tough at times, but I really feel for her. She lost her father, had a miscarriage, lost the love of her life, and then Cara coldly told her she'd move on. That scene hit a nerve. I know Cara meant no harm, but still, it was harsh. What was Elizabeth supposed to do after losing everything? In the final episode, she steps up and shoots 2 intruders. I was proud of her for that. But then she finds out Jack is gone, and suddenly she becomes calm and cold. That didn't feel like her at all. Remember how I said the Duttons don't know how to deal with grief? This is what I meant. Taylor did her dirty, plain, and simple. Banner and Whitfield. Let's talk about these 2 vile men. Don't come after me, but I almost feel sorry for Banner. Yes, he started it all. Yes, he made stupid, terrible choices. But by the end, he realizes what a mess he's caused and switches sides. It gives his character depth and draws a clear contrast with Whitfield. Whitfield's end wasn't unexpected, but I didn't think it would come mid-lecture on self-control. Still, he's gone, and I'll take the small win. Teonna, like many others, Teonna has faced heartbreak, loss, and hardship. When her story began, she was surrounded by people, many of them evil. By the end, she's all alone, which is heartbreaking. She heads west to California, desperate for a fresh start and a life free from the pain she's endured. Her journey has been incredible, and I'm really curious about her future. What about 1944? Let's be real, Cara and Jacob likely won't be around in 1944 given their age. I just hope the show confirms they passed peacefully. With Elsa's narration, we learn Spencer never remarries, but he does have a child with a widow, which sounds ominous. We also find out Spencer dies 45 years after Alex in 1969. That means in 1944, we'll likely see Spencer and his son with Alex. That son would be about 20 and probably step into a lead role while Spencer becomes the new patriarch. What's next? I'm guessing his son John will have a love interest. He kind of has to, right? Here's a theory. What if Elizabeth had Jack's child in Boston, but couldn't bear to raise them away from his memory? Maybe she sends the child to Montana to be raised by Uncle Spencer. Then we'd get 2 Dutton cousin storylines carrying on the legacy. Also, maybe Spencer's other child, with the widow, ends up being someone like Jamie Dutton in the future. The year 1944. It won't be easy. Just 1 year before World War II ends, the Duttons will face massive challenges. And let's not forget Teonna. Her connection to Thomas Rainwater in Yellowstone hasn't been fully revealed yet. I hope 1944 shows us what became of her. Is she pregnant with Pete's baby? Will she or her children move to Montana? So many questions. Release date. Right now, details are under wraps. I'd love to say early 2026, but realistically, with scripting, casting and production, late 2026 or early 2027 feels more likely. Final thoughts. What did you think of the final episode, and what do you expect from 1944? Let me know in the comments.